On the sixth day of pleasure, my true love, you're your own true love, gave to me 6 ways of playing, 5 golden rings, 4 brains with no words, 3 sex dens, 2 no one love, and trust and erotic sovereignty. Welcome to day 6 of the 12 days of pleasure. We are halfway there. If you are watching live, make sure to let me know that you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're on replay, hashtag replay. Every day for the next 12 days, well, now only 6 days left, I'm going to be jumping on here and sharing with you some super hot, super fucking juicy sex mastery tools and tips that you can take immediately and bring into your life. If you want to really become a master and like shore these up and integrate them into your system, make sure that you join us for Pleasure Alchemy, which is happening only 7 days from now. I'm so fucking excited. I can't handle it. Pleasure Alchemy is a 2.5-day weekend experience, online, fully interactive, me with you in the flesh, but it fucking feels like it, right? Totally vulnerable, totally intimate, super hot weekend, all about reclaiming your pleasure, your passion, your purpose. And I am so excited to lead it. I've been working on it all morning and I just feel like, oh, it's gonna be so good, guys. I can't wait. Okay, so let's talk today about how we can bring in different ways of pleasuring, because I don't know about you, but my self-pleasure practice every single day used to look like this. Doop, doop, doop. Doop, doop, doop. Right? And then I would get up and I would go do something. It was like the most boring, like just simple release, and I wasn't getting anything out of it. I was bored by it. I did it because I felt like I had to, or I felt like I should, because all these pleasure people were telling me that this is how I would have the life that I wanted, right? To reclaim my pleasure. And I was like, I don't know if I like this. So I was pretty bored. Not only that, but I was also doing the whole like 90 minutes of yoga, 30 minutes of cardio, journaling, meditation, chanting. Like my self-care list was insane. And at the end of it, do you know what would happen? The end of all of that like 3-hour process where I was like doing all this deep work, at the end of it, all that would happen was I would be more in touch with where I needed to grow. That was pretty boring. I don't want to do that every day. Very quickly, I fell out of motivation. I was like, no, I don't want to do that, right? Like, I don't care if that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't want to live in what I'm supposed to do anymore. I don't want to live in the shoulds anymore. And that's what I was doing every day for years, building up my first business. And my business was successful, but I was bored out of my mind. And it felt like this grind all the time of what I thought I should do and how I could please my mentors. It was fucking weird, right? So if you're in that trap right now of like, oh, you got to do it this way, and like this is how your self-care routine's got to be, and oh, you're not successful because you're not doing your like meditation for an hour every morning, I want you to just let you know that that's complete bullshit. Okay? All these rituals and all these routines are complete bullshit, and there's something about prioritizing time and space, but not, here's the big paradigm shift. So if you're watching this live or on replay, I want you to type this in the comments, what I'm about to say, because this is huge. The big paradigm shift is it's not about taking the time to heal yourself. It's not about taking the time to grow. It's not about taking the time to discover where you're flawed or where your shadows are. Your self-care practice is about reuniting you with you, coming back into your full fucking aliveness, opening your body and feeling yourself totally free and deeply in love with you. This is the paradigm shift that I didn't know was possible. And then when I started to do it, I was like, oh my God, I only need to put my hand on my clitoris for a second. And then immediately I am reminded of the endless, infinite possibility of who I am. That's it. I don't have to struggle anymore to remind myself of me. I don't have to sit in my muck for days. You know how much time that wastes? It was boring and it's sucky, and you get tired after a while of your own bullshit, right? Of like, oh my god, I'm in my stuff again, the moon, all the things are happening, and you have to go and you call all your friends and tell them all the shit you're going through. What would it be like if all that you needed to come back to joy, to come back to love, to come back to pleasure was simply taking a hand and placing it on your genitals? Or there are 6 ways of remembering oneself. 6 ways of remembering oneself. The first way is the hard way. The first way is what many of us are doing, which is like dig, 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 go deep into the mind, figure out all the weird belief systems, like do all the tapping and all the running and all the yoga and all the things and hire all the people and spend all your money trying to just become good enough, trying to just become better than. What a fucking exhausting ride to live in. Right? So that's how the majority of us lived or are living. And you may be resonating with this. And if you are, just put a hand up, let me know, like type a little thing in the chat, like, yep, that's how I used to live. It's how our society dominates us to live. And then there's 5 other ways. There's 5 other ways of self-pleasuring and being in your self-care. So one, and this depends on what your nervous system is wired to enjoying and what it wants to play in. So the first way is what I like to call the energetic way. These terms are coined by Jaya, who's a colleague who's fucking awesome. Go check out all of her stuff, missjaya.com. But these are the 5 core erotic blueprints. And when you're playing with them on your body, you'll start to realize how over time you'll decondition your nervous system day after day after day, and little by little all you'll need to do is just feed yourself very quickly, just like that, and all of a sudden you will remember. Your relationships will not be stuck in having to talk through things and figure out what's going on. You'll get to actually just be alive fully. The drain of energy won't suck you anymore. So the first way of being, I want you to type this in just so that everyone's tracking me, energetic blueprint is the first self-pleasure practice that you can play with. And the energetics, your superpower is that when your nervous system is deconditioned, you can have full body orgasms without even touching yourself. So your full body remembrance gets to happen sometimes just through breath, sometimes just through taking a hand off of the body, sometimes just through connecting with another's eyeballs. And that's enough, and that's it. Right? So that's the energetic blueprint, the full body orgasms. And the reason why you might not be having those full body orgasms quite yet, join me at Pleasure Alchemy and you definitely will. But if you're not having them quite yet, it's because you have the shadow of the energetic blueprint, which means that your nervous system is tense and constricted in this moment. You haven't done the work to really open the body. And remember, the work is easy and simple, and it is not something that you have to go and try harder to do. It's very quick. The shadow of the energetic is overwhelm. So if you're feeling yourself in overwhelm, you most likely are on the other side of having epic full body orgasms. And all you need to do is commit to learning how to feed your energetic blueprint, which we will learn next weekend at Pleasure Alchemy. The second blueprint is the sensual blueprint, and the sensual blueprint is able to get turned on and have orgasms just through their 5 fucking senses: the taste, the sounds, the smells. They could be eating dinner and have an orgasm. They could be washing the dishes and have an orgasm. Right? And you know you're a sensual blueprint if you find yourself stuck in your head thinking about all the things you need to fix. Right? Like it's not good at the surroundings, the external environment is not good enough. Something's dirty, something's off, right? And if you're hyper aware of that in this moment, it means that the nervous system is tense or constricted, and you ought to come to Pleasure Alchemy so you can learn how to decondition the nervous system so that you can start orgasming every time you take a bite of cheesecake. Okay, so that's the sensual blueprint. The kinky blueprint is the 3rd way of self-pleasuring, or the 3rd way of self-care. And what you can do for the kinky blueprint every day is simply give it the fantasy that it desires to step into. It's usually a taboo, a naughty, a fucking dark fantasy. It's epic. epic, right? And if you're kinky, I bet you're feeling the shame that almost every other kinky blueprint feels when they first recognize what they're turned on by. Come to Pleasure Alchemy and you'll learn that these kinks, these fantasies are actually the outlets to getting you into your higher states of consciousness. These are actually put and imprinted into your nervous system in order to raise you up into who you truly are. It's fucking epic. So follow the fantasy. Reclaim the shame. Treat it as a joy ride and be in your full-bodied pleasure. Those are the first pop quiz. What have I mentioned so far? And type it in the comments. Energetics. The energetic blueprint, the sensual blueprint, the kinky blueprint. We have the sexual blueprint. So for the sexual blueprint, you guys, when your nervous system is deconditioned, you are in a full fucking sexual party. Your nipples are out, your genitals are out, you're touching everything, you're loving being naked and partying it up, right? You're a fucking blast sexually. And for you, all you need in your self-pleasure practice is to place your hand on your body, feel your wetness, boom, you are remembered to who you are. That's it. If your nervous system is not fully open, right? And I want you to track this. You'll find yourself getting almost like sex hangry, right? Like wanting the next thing. When am I going to get the next orgasm, the next climax? Being kind of bored with the present day moment. If that is coming up for you, make sure to come to Pleasure Alchemy and I will show you how to enjoy the ride. Right? How to calm the nervous system down to enjoy the ride so that you can have these epic sexual experiences. Because when you're pressuring to get to the end goal, it stops you from being able to live in the moment. Right? And then if you're resonating with all of these blueprints and you're like, yep, this is all me. All those shadows feel like me, right? Like, oh, I'm closed in all the different ways. My nervous system's tense in all the different ways. And you want to maybe live a life where you can do the full body orgasms and the sense-based orgasms and the kinky fantasy orgasms just through your mind and the crazy sexy hot orgy orgasms, right? If you want all of that, you're probably the fifth erotic blueprint, which I like to call the shape shifter. And you may be feeling a bit of shame or doubt that you want it all. And I want to let you know, whoever's listening in, whoever's watching now or on replay, you 100% get to have your cake and eat it too. You can have everything that you desire for your body and it doesn't have to be work. It is easy, it is simple, and it just takes claiming your pleasure. Start by claiming your pleasure for a weekend and joining me in Pleasure Alchemy. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about, and you will get to bring that into your life moving forward from here on out. I will see you next weekend. Share this video with people that you think might find some use in it, find some joy in it, tag your friends, and make sure to let your friends know about Pleasure Alchemy as well. If you're not yet in the pleasure circle, I've got my little mic here, it's like a cock. If you're not in the pleasure circle yet, make sure to join into the pleasure circle because there's all sorts of freebies, there's all sorts of fun stuff, so that you can definitely make it to the Pleasure Alchemy and win all the shit. I love when I'm turned on and I'm in orgasm, which is all the time, I'm always giving away free shit. Like, you might see me on my Facebook page always selling, right? Or always having something next. And it's because I'm in constant creation mode. Like, my pussy and my turn on is constantly moving. And so I'm like, yeah, this. And I get to keep claiming it over and over again. I don't have to stop being fully alive ever for anyone. And I get to claim that fully. I didn't know this until I reclaimed my pleasure. And this, my loves, is what you'll get to learn fully embodied and integrated at Pleasure Alchemy. So I will see you there next weekend. And I'm going to go ahead and post the link now so that you can make sure to get your tickets today. Share with everyone today. Early bird pricing ends tonight. So grab it now. Love, love, love to you. Mwah.